How's it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here bringing you guys a brand new Hunter Hunter chapter discussion. And for today's segment, guys, we're going to be talking about is chapter 364, folks. Oh, yes, folks. This chapter was definitely interesting as we got to see Vincent actually fight against Kurapika and Bill. Needless to say, Bill was definitely something worth noting, and he's actually a pretty experienced fighter. You know, we didn't get to see much of his actual abilities as a Nen user, but he was actually able to put up a good fight against Vincent. That Vincent had to actually use his own Nen abilities against Bill. And I was thinking, like, wow, you know, I want to see more of what Bill's capable of, because I mean, he's one of the last remaining bodyguards for Queen Otto, and even for Prince Waba. So I want to see what makes him actually stand out as one of the bodyguards that is one of the last ones too at the same time. But like I said, that's for another discussion, because Bill will somehow get more screen time later in chapters. I know Togashi. He will definitely give him more screen time. He always does. For every character he always does. He always definitely gives them screen time, no matter what it is, and he will give them time to shine. But like I said though, this chapter definitely was more focused, not necessarily on the fight between Vincent, Bill, and Kurapika, because Kurapika actually did manage to, you could say, not really necessarily capture Vincent. Well, they did technically, but the thing is that Vincent technically killed himself in the chapter, so technically he became a nuisance, and by that, in a sense, kind of brought every plan kind of down, because apparently the way that Vincent and Prince Benjamin was doing everything, he's trying to use every nook and cranny so that way that Kurapika's actual abilities will be finally exposed, because that's what Prince Benjamin is trying to do. He's literally doing every trick and candy so he can know what he's up against. He wants to know what every single hunter is capable of. He wants to know what the bodyguards are, what are the limits to their extent that they can actually handle, if their Nen abilities are actually worth noting, or to be careful, to be on the lookout, or should they actually send more bodyguards to actually, you know, in order to take this one down. Like I said, like Prince Benjamin really is focusing more on Kurapika, because of the fact that he's the one that sent out that information, saying that, you know, oh, the Nen beast and etc. That he's the one. Kurapika's the one that basically caused all this charade to actually escalate a little bit more, in a sense, for the other princesses. And basically, Prince Benjamin said, oh, he wants to stir up trouble. All right, then I'll go up to him and stir up trouble myself. That's what Prince Benjamin's attitude was right there. But like I said though, it's interesting that Kurapika, he's able to actually transfer his abilities onto other people. I didn't know that with the steel chain. That was actually pretty interesting right there. But for Kurapika, it was a huge drawback, guys, because of the fact that I kind of see it as like Kurapika being hacked just a little bit, because I mean, he can steal powers and give it to other ones, and basically it's like he basically is Crollo's actual, like, he's his enemy. Like, his Nen abilities is literally completely polar opposite of Crollo Lucifer. Instead of taking Nen abilities, he can actually borrow and give it to other people. Unlike Crollo, who can actually just takes it just for himself, and he doesn't necessarily actually give it to other people. He has more of a greedy mindset in a sense, with his little book, of course. But still, Kurapika, I hope to God that something else happens, because Kurapika is such in a dire situation, folks. He's such in a situation that he's just constantly getting bombarded and getting stuck. Because I mean, for Pete's sake, one of the bodyguards, Vincent, just died. Okay, so he's trying to formulate a new plan so that way he can actually do something. And the thing about Kurapika is the fact that he's a very quick-paced person. He's always thinking ahead. He's always trying to put some 10 steps ahead in order so he won't be actually backtracked. But no, Prince Benjamin just keeps going at it. And that's the thing with Kurapika, is the fact that I want to know if Kurapika might die in this certain arc. That's the thing, because remember, guys, from what we learned in this chapter is that Emperor Time takes about, I believe, an hour away from his lifespan. So Jesus H. Christ, does that mean that Kurapika not necessarily might die, but in a sense that his life will be shortened to the point that he might have only a couple of years to live? Because, well, I mean, that depends though, if Kurapika will actually leave his Emperor Time ability on Queen Otto, because remember he wants to spy on other princes. He wants more intelligence. He wants his information network to be a little bit more better, because he's literally running blind here. Then by giving that to to Queen Otto, so that way when they're at the banquet, she can use that ability and actually get like a fly or a little bug, a mosquito, and you know, and let them roam around, so that way they could get some intelligence right there. But but that will be on the cost of a price, because the thing is that Emperor Time will be in effect until it is used, and that's what kind of worries me just a little bit, just because of the fact that Kurapika is not necessarily that type of person to go all out when it's not really a spider clan right there, meaning that he wants to survive. He wants to survive this at all costs. But still, though, damn. And also, Kurapika, like, you know, he's actually very intelligent to the point that, like, I'm noticing that he probably will get out of this situation. I just don't know how. He probably might use this to his advantage, because I mean, right now Kurapika's stuck at this point where you literally see, I believe it was Zane to Beppa. I think they're all calling him right now, as I remember correctly. They're calling him, but the thing is that who will Kurapika answer to? That's the thing, because like how one of the Queen Otto's actual servants said, if whoever you leave on hold is more of a declaration of war, so they have to choose wisely. I wonder if they're gonna answer to Beppa, because Beppa seems like more the one that he seems more flexible in terms of actually like telling people. Because I mean, Beppa doesn't seem like a really bad guy. He seems more like he's more of a defensive type of guy, and he's looking out for himself. But it doesn't seem like he would betray that quickly. So I feel like maybe Beppa was the one to be answered first. By all means, I want to see what Beppa's got to offer. But Zane, I feel like he just wants to talk to Kurapika in the same way that Benjamin, but Benjamin wants to actually apprehend Kurapika. That's the way I kind of see it. I wonder if Zane is actually gonna come in there and actually say, you know, Kurapika, I actually want you to come in, and I want to have a down to earth talk with you. That'd be pretty interesting. I mean, Zane doesn't seem like he's not that much of a bad guy. He seems more like he's also more restrained, and like Benjamin seems like more he's taking a very huge initiative that's making him stand out. That's the thing. Oh damn, there's a lot in this chapter. My God, Kurapika's Emperor Time, all the princesses on hold. Ooh. But like I said though, and also Benjamin also sent another bodyguard, so it makes you wonder like what the heck is gonna go on. Like, maybe they can answer the phone call, and then right when they answer the phone call, they can pretend like, oh, who's there? Oh yeah, and then like maybe pretend that something else happened. No, I'm kidding. That can't happen. They should have more than one phone right there, so that way they can answer all three of them at once. That deals with the plot line right there. There you go. Problem solved right there, guys. Boom. Nah, jest. But no, seriously though, yeah, I can't wait to see what the next chapter is going to be going on about, because of the fact that, like I said, Kurapika is just stuck in a stalemate right there. His abilities are going to be exposed. I know that for sure. Somebody's going to expose his abilities to Benjamin. That there's no denying, because Benjamin's going all out just to see what Kurapika is actually capable of. But let me know down in the comments below, guys. What are you guys' thoughts on the other princes? Do you guys think that they're actually what do you guys think that other princes are gonna do? Do you guys think Beppa is actually gonna be the one that's gonna actually join Queen Otto's side, or do you guys think that Beppa might be a little bit more slyer, or do you guys think that Zhang might be actually joining Kurapika on his quest to, like, you know, against the other princes? Because I remember these princes, they're also trying to team up at the same time. Some of them, not because, you know, depends on how they want to go at it. Because I'm not expecting too much from the other princes, you know, because it is an all-out war. But also, or more or less to say, it's more Kurapika. They want Kurapika in a sense. That's what they want, because he seems more like experienced than Nen. And they want the best. What can I say? The best there is around. Oh, and also, what do you guys think of Bill in this chapter? Bill was pretty interesting. Like I said, I personally respect Bill now as a character. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. But like I said, let me know down in the comments, guys. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Hunter x Hunter chapter discussions. And as always, guys, hope to see you guys again in the next video. But peace out, folks.